Hey guys, GamerZ here, and today I am going to be doing a build video. I know it's a little bit weird, but right now I am playing Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved, and well, long story short, I was watching one of my favorite live streamers actually, ZeekDaGeek. I'll link him down below. And I noticed that he has always been fascinated in mass producing ores. Well, not mass producing, mass processing, I should say. And a few versions back, when Feed the Beast used stuff like factorization, it was made quite simple to mass process um, for instance, 8 stacks of an ore, such as iron or gold. But recently, well, in the recent versions of Minecraft, factorization hasn't been updated. Well, not as far as I'm aware of. And he designed a 8 smelter foundry, which produced, I don't know, 8 stacks at a time. So if you're using a sack mill or pulverizer, you can get 16 out of that. Or if you're completely insane, you could use alloy smelters. It's pretty compact. Well, it's not really compact. It's a bit bulky, but it's easy to hide. So if you want, with the structural ducts, you can easily masquerade these warp item ducts, or you can hide it within a wall, or for instance, if you have a multi-story base in a world, you can very well easily put it on one separate floor where it's not gonna bother anyone. It's just gonna be auto processed through via, I don't know, IE or AE, or the end.io inventory panel, or even logistics pipes, for instance. But this design, it's really compact. All you need is a 5 by, I would say, 5 by 5 by 2. That's quite literally all you need. For instance, if you have tesseracts hooked up into your base, you just need 2 energy conduits, 2 lines of energy conduits, 1 tesseract in the dead center, connecting to all the item ducts if you're using warp. For this design, it's highly advisable for you to use what are they called? Impulse ducts, I believe. Yeah, impulse ducts. Like I said, you can use any item duct you choose. But in this video, I'm even going to show you that you can use, where is it? End.io. You just use completely and utterly end.io. But during this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to configure and make that crazy 4x4 wall of smelters. And I'm even going to show you how to make this compact and nice. Well, this looks really nice when you cover it up, especially with the covers for the structural pipes, and you can even have that floor level. Right, to start, here's what you're going to need for the thermal expansion / end.io styled smelter. You will need 2 chests or any storage of your choice, 9 resonant servos, or, well, it has to be 9 of any servo, but I would recommend anything like Signalum or Reinforced, because they extract items really quickly, and that's what you need. That's what you want for a bulk smelter, is speed and efficiency. You're gonna need any type of item duct, preferably anything higher than not vacuum, impulse ducts. You need 1 retriever, again it can be any, 4 alloy smelters, 8 flux ducts of any choice, as long as it's, I believe, anything higher than 500 RF a tick it can transfer is perfect for it. Any type of energy source. Right here I'm using the creative energy cell because I'm really lazy. 8 octadic capacitors for efficiency again, and here we go. To start with, you will need before I start anything, actually I'm going to show you the hole in the floor method. So, oh god, hold on. So right now I'm going to be showing you how to make it efficient and look very pleasing. To start, you'll need to mine out or have a 3x5 area, which is floor level, and place one chest or storage unit 2 blocks in and on the closest block to you, as well as the opposite side, so you need to mirror it. Next thing, you need to connect 2 item ducts to the back of each storage unit and carry those on to the furthest block in this area. Next thing you need to do is place 4 item ducts going vertically, I believe it is, or up. I'm not very good with directional stuff. On the furthest right, the dead center, and the furthest left. I will be back when I've done that. After you have completed that, that is all you will need for the item ducts. And I'm going to say this now before anyone says, is there any way to change around, make it more, make it look more appealing, etc. As long as it's the same concept as this, it doesn't matter. As long as, to be honest, the main ones you have to worry about are these 3 right here. You can extend it as much as you like, but as long as you have a connection either side of the alloy smelter, or for instance redstone furnace, it doesn't matter at all what it looks like and how you build it. So you've got these 3 pillars of 4 item ducts going up each. You will need to place your alloy smelters in between the gaps, and you should have 4 or more depending on how high you want to make it, but as long as it looks like this, so you have a connection on both the left and the right side, but in my case it's the east and the west side, because if you didn't know NDIO or not, the side is verified by the direction you are looking by north, east, south, and west, not left, right, forward, back, left, right, up, and down. It's, to be honest, it's better, I reckon. Right now, you're gonna have to go around the back, connect all of your flux ducts or energy conduit or whatever you are using to give these things power. And I'm not going to put in the energy cell yet because I have plans to finish this build. Right, here's where it may get a little bit annoying, because you have to try and figure out which settings you need on the servos. This is why I suggest that you use something like Signalum Reinforced or Resonant servos, because if you want to specify what material you want to smelt, you can easily do it with 15 possible choices to go from, Because if you look in this GUI right now, you have 15 areas where you can specify 15 different items, which is my personal favorite if you ask. But for the settings you need, where it says nearest first, you need to right click or left click until it gets to round robin. What this will do is, instead of going, like for instance, going straight to this first ally smelter, it will randomly choose which one it will go to, and it will either bounce back, or in this case, this is why I like this design, because it will go forward, go left, fill in the 3 inventory slots in the first ally smelter, move it up, and once that's done, it will bounce all the way back, and it will go straight to the right side. But there's one thing you've got to be careful of, is once it's once it bounces back, the resident retriever, well, or whichever retriever you have, might, and that is a big might, there's a high possibility that it will collect the item that is bounced over to the right hand side. Further or not, you will need to add servos on the inside section of item ducts. And what this will do is, instead of it's trying to reprocess any of the material, it will simply take it out straight from the output and place it somewhere where you particularly want it. So, for instance, for me to specify where I want the output to be, I'm going to place a retriever on this right chest. Now, there's one problem, because when dealing with item ducts, you always get one problem, and that is the fact that they will connect to anything if possible. So what you're going to have to do is get some sort of wrench and right click the connections from the bottom line of item ducts, from the very bottom of these alloy smelters. You are almost done with your super smelter. Like, I'm being a little bit optimistic and saying this is a super smelter, but it's a really fast and efficient smelter. What you are going to have to do is change all the redstone control. You can do low or disabled if you want, well, high, low, or disabled if you want. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to be doing ignored for the input chest. But all of these servos connecting to the alloy smelters have to be on a disabled redstone signal. I forgot to mention that you will have to do round robin on the retriever as well as set it to ignored. But there again, if you want to independently control the retrieval and submission rate, you can very well easily set it to high or low. Low being it will continuously run, but as soon as it gets any type of redstone signal, it will shut off. High being the opposite. You are almost done. Right now, I would advise you to make a couple octadic capacitors. They will be very handy when it comes to stuff like this, because with my crazy smelter over there, the 4x4 alloy smelter, I completely filled a diamond chest within about 2 minutes. It was absolutely crazy. For the GUI of the alloy smelters, I will show you the one of the left smelters and one of the right one smelters, and I will show you how to correctly set up the configuration, because you might not completely understand, because with alloy smelters, they generally don't care if something gets pulled out of the for instance input, and it might accidentally put an output from the smelter into the input again, or vice versa. So right here I'm looking at the left hand side of the alloy smelters, and what you want to do is furnace mode, click once, click again, and is furnace only. Next thing you need to do is go to configure IO, and you'll see here that you can see all of the blocks, and tile entities around it. So for instance, on the right you can see the server with the item duct, on the left you got the item duct inserting into the furnace, and also the bare foundry of the entire system item ducts on the bottom. Well, what you will need to do, and some people might not understand how to do this, but on the left hand side, if you use your left click and hold it, you can drag the display around, and right click, you can very well easily set if you want to pull, push, or do both from the inventory or inventories next to it. So on the left, you'll need to right click it once until it says pull, and if I hover my mouse over this, you will see that these three item slots show blue. That means that these are the import, and they are accepting the item or items that you will be smelting down. On the right hand side of the left alloy smelters, you will need to right click it twice. This will set it to push only mode, and it will try and force the items out of its inventory into any inventory that's next to it. Luckily enough, it's a item duct with a server which will extract it quicker than it can push it, and it's designated straight to an inventory. So after you've done that, you will need to repeat that for the other three, or however many is above it. For the right hand side, you will need to do the same for the furnace mode, but slide it to, rotate the image from the IO, and you'll need to pull from the right and push from the left. I know I may sound a little bit what's the word? I might be trying to say that it's completely obvious, but I'm going to show you anyway. Some people might not know what they're doing with this configuration, but I thought that I will show you guys anyway, because I know it will help. I've done this on servers and single player, and it is very effective. I don't see any other mass melting and processing units out there. This is the only one I have seen and that I have thoroughly enjoyed, and that's all thanks to ZeekDaGeek on Twitch and YouTube. Again, I will be linking his I'll be putting his name down in the description, as well as all his links. But I will be back after I have configured all of the all of the alloy smelters, and I have installed all of the oxidic capacitors. Right guys, the only thing left now is to install your your power. You can do that any way you want, but I want to show you what it looks like with any type of completely covered, completely facade, and embedded in a wall. This is what the super smelter looks like when it's embedded in a wall, and this is what I mean by it generally looks nice when it's flush to any surface, because you got the chests on the bottom here, got the smelters embedded in the wall, and I've just used marble because it was the first material that came to my head, and I just like marble. It's a very nice color. But I'm gonna show you. Oh, no, sorry, I am forgetting one thing. I did not add the power to this thing, and that would have been entertaining if we didn't have any power. But right now, it's sending the energy straight through it, and I will be showing you what it looks like when I'm sending an entire inventory full of cobblestone through this thing. Let's just see how well it can deal with it. But right now, I've installed the octadic capacitors in all 8. It's slowly but gradually filling up to 500,000 RF, and once that's done, we will give it a test try. Right, that's all done. An inventory full of cobblestone, all in. As you can see, it is completely demolishing. Why? Right, yeah. It sent 2 stacks of cobblestone through, and it's still doing it. I hate that thing. But to stop it from doing that, I will blacklist cobblestone. Simple enough. If you're having trouble, oh god, I did not mean. Damn it! What the hell? If you have any troubles with, well, like this right now, all you have to do is access the retriever, blacklist the item, and Bob's your uncle. It's done and dusted. And if you cannot see, I've probably been speaking for about 1 minute now, and already I have nearly 8 stacks of smooth stone from an inventory full. You can see how quick and effective this actually can be. But I'm almost out of time right now, and I will leave this mystery to you. How do you think I created the insane smelter that this is? Literally 5 minutes and I have that much stone in a chest. Just remember, this is 16 alloy smelters, which is a tremendous 48 stacks in total being smelted down. So for instance, if you put 48 stacks of an item in one inventory, wait about, I don't know, about 5 minutes, and it will be done. But like I said, I'm going to be signing off. I will leave that mystery to you, and whoever thinks that they have come up with a design and how to make it so quick to process, please be sure to leave a video response or message me and say, look, GamerZ, I have completed your challenge. I've made the ultimate smelter. Here is the link the video in the message. I will go see if you are correct, and the first person to to get the design ready and post it, more than likely, if you're new to YouTube or anything, private it, send me a link, and if you're the first person to make the ultimate smelter, and possibly if you've made it better than this design, I will I will name you in my next video. My apologies, I cannot give you anything as a prize, but you will be named, and I will have all of your links in my description. I'll put your name and your link in the description, so anyone who watches my videos will be more than welcome to go see yours. And that is literally it. I hope that this was an entertaining video. You can see that you can make a super effective smelter with a few items. Not that, well, a fair bit of energy actually, but in the long run, for instance, if you do this design with sag mills and put dark steel balls in it, you will get about, this is an estimate, about 12 stacks of processed ore from simply 8. This has been tested and verified. I'll get a clip of that at the end of the video. But enough of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Like and comment. If you do enjoy this video and you want to see more, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time, guys. Here we got 8 stacks of iron ore, and this is my super smelter design I did. Slightly different because instead of having it underneath, I've got the item ducts going over, but just ignore these filters. This was a first mistake, but here we go. 8 stacks of iron ore going straight through, and it is literally flying through this. And here is your proof that 8 stacks of iron ore produces 18 stacks with this super smelter technique. The only reason why I'm getting more is because I am adding dark steel balls into these, which gives it, I think, a 200% output, which is basically 4 pulverized metal than 2. But it also gives me a hell of a lot of ferrous and a hell of a lot of tin. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.